tonight we are joined by the senior members of our Winnie Mac Football Patriot. Now this has been a group that's had enormous amount of success on the field. As sophomores, they were on a team that made it all the way to the state semifinals, where they got to play on US Bank Stadium, one of the final 4 teams left in the state. As juniors in a extremely weird 2020 year, they were part of another highly successful team. If there would have been a state tournament, I'm pretty sure we'd have been back at state, and who knows how far we would have went. And then again, as seniors this year, let's be honest, there were doubts of what this team could accomplish after losing so many seniors, but hey, we're winning football games. We maybe could have won another 1 or 2 football games had some things gone differently. So tons and tons of success, tons and tons of memories and highlights. In this senior thing, I'm going to ask, hey, could each one of you maybe touch on your favorite or your best memory or highlight on the field, off the field? Open it up. You guys just, hey, how about Chase? Let's just start with you, and then everybody can kind of go in. Can you touch on maybe your favorite 1 or 2 memories that you got?
Yeah. So one of my favorite memories was probably stepping foot on US Bank Stadium. And that's definitely a year I won't forget about.
Yeah. Who wouldn't forget about it? Such an awesome facility. People from Northwest Minnesota got to play on that thing because you guys were so successful. Colton, let's go to you.
Well, pretty much like what Chase said, walking to US Bank Stadium for the first time, the atmosphere is crazy. I think Jalen Suggs and SMB were playing right when we got to the stadium, so that was pretty sick. Also, just like being able to play varsity for the first time was pretty sick.
Scott?
Actually, one of my memorable moments was winning our sophomore year in the Dome, in the Fargo Dome. I think that was a pretty good moment for us.
That was a pretty. I remember going crazy up in the booth during that game. That was wild. Anton.
I'd probably have to say my favorite moment was getting to play in the US Bank Stadium. Ever since I put that stadium up, it was kind of always a dream of mine to get to play there, and then even just get to see a game there and to be able to walk out on the field and just see everything. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah. David? Maybe we got some technical difficulties with David. Hey, now, Leo, coming over here, never played football before. What's been the coolest thing so far of playing football here?
Well, I think the coolest thing is probably the thing that we are all together. We play all together. We have fun staying together. So that's the thing that is fun here, and that
Yeah,
the best thing is that we are like a big family.
Yeah, and football is like the ultimate team sport in that it's really hard. It's really hard to be a standout without the help of everybody else. Like in a baseball game, if you're a stud pitcher, you can kind of stand out and you don't need other people help. But in football, you could be a stud wide receiver, but unless your quarterback can throw you the ball, or unless the lineman can block for the quarterback, you can't stand out. So Leo, I mean, being a family is one of the coolest things there is about football. And David, hopefully David has joined us with his stuff. David, you got like a favorite memory from playing football over these years?
Definitely walking out onto that big stadium and just seeing how big everything was.
Yeah, I know I was in awe. I've never been there. It was pretty cool, and I'm way older than you guys. It would have been unreal to be able to play on something like that. Okay, Chase, let's go back to you now. what kind of influence has football played in your life, Chase?
To me, it's definitely a big commitment deal. Once you get yourself into it, you set yourself up for the grind, and you got to be there for your whole team. Because if you're not there, it just throws things off, and just got to be there to help out in every way you can.
Exactly. That's a very mature answer. Colton, how about you? What kind of influence has football played in your life?
Definitely like leadership is a big one, especially with all those seniors that, well, aren't here anymore, I guess. Really learned a lot from them. But also just like having goals long term and being able to just chase them down.
That's a good answer. Anton, you.
Well, yeah, football's always been a pretty big part of my life. I've played it since I was in elementary school, so it's been a huge part of my life. Learning from all the seniors that we've had in the past, how to play the game, just like learning more about it and how to be a good teammate, good player. So
Yeah. Scott?
The ability to learn from the coaches and the previous seniors and having those people behind your back, pushing you forward to be better than what, be the best you can at the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are some great answers. David, what kind of influence has football had in your life?
Putting in work is really one of the biggest ones. Is that putting in work during season, off season, memorizing plays, getting in the weight room, everything all helps out.
Exactly. Leo, you haven't been around football for very long, but has it had much of an influence in your life?
Yeah, of course. Like in a situation like mine, that I came here without knowing anyone and without knowing the sport and all this stuff. First of all, football learned me a lot of things, let me know a lot of other people that I didn't know. So helped me making new friends and enter in this new society, in this new contest.
Yeah. And I mean, growing up, well, this kind of goes into my third thing. Is growing up, baseball was my favorite sport to play. Baseball was always my favorite sport to play. Football has always been my favorite sport to coach, but baseball was always my favorite sport to play. But I cried more when football season was done because, like you guys, when that last high school football game is over, you don't get to play football anymore. You can play amateur baseball, you can play pickup basketball, but you're never ever going to pick up the pads again. So I guess we don't want this season to end. We want to go as far as possible. But whenever this season ends, what do you think you're going to miss most about the game of football? And again, let's start with you, Chase. What do you think you're going to miss most about the game of football?
Definitely being out there on the field for sure. I've always loved this sport ever since I've been just a little kid. And I'm definitely also going to miss the teams I've been with from my freshman year to now. And this year, the team is really fun. I've had so much fun with this team, and I'm going to miss that a lot too.
Yeah. Like I admit, man, I cried more for football just being with the guys and the grind and everything like that. Some about being out there under those lights on a Friday night. There's not much like it.
Just something you won't get back.
Yeah, and you're never going to get it back again. Colton, how about you? What are you going to miss most?
Well, not necessarily even just playing the game itself, the team dinners, the whole like family aspect, that's going to suck, leaving that behind. But like also just the feeling of everyone watching you, like nothing else.
Anton, how about you?
Yeah, also just kind of the atmosphere of a football game on a Friday night, lights coming down on the field, all the fans are hyped up. It's just it's hard to recreate an atmosphere like that in any other sport. So I'm probably gonna miss that the most.
Yeah. David, how about you?
Probably gonna miss that, like Colton said, that family aspect, especially whenever everything runs smoothly at practice. Everybody's all happy for each other, motivating each other in the weight room, practice. It's just a great time all around, especially after a win. Oh man, that
Yeah.
locker room lights up.
Yeah. You start to miss it even right now. Scott, how about you?
Definitely what Colton and David were touching on, the family, just those people that have your back when something goes wrong, or those who hype you up when something goes right. And then like the adrenaline you get walking out onto the field. Definitely big things I'm gonna miss.
Yeah. Leo, what are you gonna miss, man?
Me is a bit different because I cannot say the same thing as them, because when I will come back to Italy, I will not play football anymore. So this will be the first and the last time that I will play football. But of course, I keep with me all the experience, the sport, because it is a sport that I didn't know, and most of all, as they said, all the moments like the pre-game in the locker room, or all the moments together.
Yeah. Okay. So here comes my going away question. So this Wednesday, and this ain't gonna be our last game, but it's probably gonna be our last home game. And so this Wednesday, when there's a bunch of little kids watching you guys play, and after the game, after the win, you guys go through the tunnel and you're slapping these little kids' hands, and then they're staring at you and they want to be like you one day. So what advice would you leave to these little kids that want to be like you one day? Chase, what advice are you leaving?
All I gotta say is if you love the sport, work hard at it, practice it, and you'll get far.
Awesome. Colton?
It's a whole grind, you don't want to let your teammates down. If you're in it, be in it, don't half,
Half donkey it,
Yeah.
Anton?
Well, you definitely got to commit to it. A lot of time in the weight room, a lot of time watching film, all that. It's all that extra stuff that makes a difference. You can't just show up to practices and hope everything's going to be all right. You got to put in work on this side, and then you'll be successful.
Yeah. David, how about you?
It's a commitment for sure. Like Anna said, in the weight room, especially in the classroom, make sure you're passing all your classes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Scott?
Being able to learn from your coaches and from your older peers, and being able to push yourself to be better than what you are.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Film.
And what do we got? Leo. What advice you giving, Leo?
I say just follow your dreams.
That's a good one. Hey guys, I appreciate the interview. These are some of the saddest yet most satisfying interviews to do, is because people are willing to kind of put themselves out there. You guys have had a wildly, stupidly successful career in this sport of football. And it proves the time and the commitment you've put into it. I appreciate watching you guys. I think everybody else appreciates watching you guys. And I want to say thanks for the interview and good luck in the future. We don't want this football season to end, but whenever it does, I think you guys can look proudly upon what you've accomplished. So, hey, thank you for the interview, and go win on Wednesday. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.